And to help us further unpack what today's bombshell testimony means for Britney Spears, we're joined now by attorney Christopher Melcher of the Walter Melcher family law firm. Thank you so much, Mr. Melcher, for joining us. Help us understand this. Britney said that she wants out of this conservatorship. She even said that she's been, quote, enslaved. Can she simply end it like this?
No, she can't. It's up to the court to end it, and certainly the court is going to listen to what she had to say. Today was not the day to decide whether to terminate the conservatorship, but we know all those unanswered questions that we had before about why hasn't she asked for this to end earlier, and does she really want this or not, and how does she feel about it? That's all been answered today. It's really mind-blowing, some of the statements that she made, but they're not binding on the court. This is a court order that was made against her, and we'll have to have another hearing and possibly evaluations for the court to determine whether it's going to continue the conservatorship.
And in your best understanding of this, would you think that a psychiatric evaluation would be mandatory?
Well, they can't force it on her. They can ask her to submit to it. And that would normally be part of the process to understand what's really going on with her. If she refuses to submit to it, the court could consider that in denying the conservatorship. But to me, these conservatorships are designed for the most extreme cases, people who cannot take care of themselves. We're talking about adults that need protection. And so the half hour that the court got to hear from Britney would give the court some idea whether she needs that level of protection, or if so, what types of protection, maybe not such an extreme order that she has right now. So the evaluation would be helpful. I don't know that it's totally necessary. She did say that she didn't want to go to Westlake Village to be evaluated because of the paparazzi. That's totally understandable, and maybe some accommodation could be made about where it occurs. But that may be the next step, and if she really wants out of it, to submit to it. But again, this is just the start of a really unfolding story.
And what stood out to you the most about her testimony today?
Well, one, that she wanted to speak publicly because she did have the right to ask that it be closed, and I was hoping really for her sake that it would be closed, because these are the most personal issues for her mental health questions and the conflict with her dad. And I understand we all want to know, and her fans want to know what's really going on, but I was hoping that it would be done in a private setting. So that was one surprise. Another surprise was this IUD birth control device that she said she was forced to have. Now that could be part of a conservatorship where the person in control would make medical decisions for someone. So that was really surprising to hear, that there was a lithium administered to her that she claimed. So again, we don't know exactly how all this transpired, and but there are some jaw-dropping claims that we heard about today.
And Britney said that for years she hasn't been heard. Some of her fans, the so-called Free Britney movement, have been warning about this. If true, is this the way that conservatorships are supposed to work?
No, I mean, we usually don't see much attention on a conservatorship. It's usually someone who is developmentally disabled and, seriously cannot take care of themselves, and they have a relative appointed, and that's the end of it. So here, this is remarkable, and obviously a lot of people who love and care for her. There's a lot of attention on it, and now we're seeing the whole thing unravel, where there's fights over the fees and the compensation. Should it be Jamie? Should it be somebody else? Should there be conservatorship or not? So I think the court's going to have to manage this differently and maybe change out counsel. I think even if the court believes that the conservatorship is in some way needed to protect Britney, I do think she should have the right to decide who is in control, and she doesn't want her dad in control. And even if her dad has done a fantastic job, her desire should be honored in removing the dad.
And as you mentioned earlier, we heard very little today from her father through his lawyer in court as well. Do you think that he'll be able to maintain control over her finances?
Well, he might. And today was just a hearing to hear from Britney. There was nothing for the court to decide, so I could understand tactically why Dad Jamie wouldn't have said a whole lot. Now, the one thing, though, when Bessemer Trust was put in place as a co-conservator along with Jamie, Bessemer Trust would certainly go through the finances in great detail because it has a fiduciary duty. And if there was any financial improprieties, we would have heard about it by now. Bessemer Trust would have stepped up and said that. So at least I believe that there's no financial impropriety that at least Bessemer Trust has uncovered. But it really comes down to one adult controlling another. This is an adult parent controlling an adult child. And that child, Britney, should have a say in this.
Christopher Melcher, we so appreciate your time and insight.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.